EDC takes precedent over source documentation at a site and should always match what is entered on source. True or false? You put true, it's false.
Source take precedent.
Yes.
Source come first.
Correct.
So what?
Yeah, EDC takes precedent over source. Is false. The idea is that if you have write something in the source and then put it in the EDC, and then you lose the source.
That same question is there.
That's
Keep
another
going.
Chris one.
That's another question.
That's another Chris one. But can you...
Copy from the EDC
Yeah.
back to the source.
I almost got that one wrong. A trial master file is... And you put the budget as maintained by the PI. So it's the trial master file is actually, it's also known as a TMF. That's actually a good entry level job for you guys, trial master file specialist. It's a regulatory document from every site. So imagine you work for a CRO and there's 30 sites doing the same study, okay, and you're the trial master file specialist. So you're maintaining like something like Intralinks. Intralinks actually is a trial master file. That's why we're using it in our academy. It's not that it's the easiest thing to use. It's not. But it's a real trial master file. Like that's what it is. The folders, you know how they have like documents in it, subfolders. So you would have a folder for every protocol, for every study. And then in each one you'd have subfolders of all the sites, like all the PIs. And then subfolders of every form. Alright, that's a trial master file. And as a TMF specialist, you're maintaining that for a bunch of sites, maybe even a bunch of studies. Right? Like you're just maintaining the TMF. You're seeing what's missing, what needs to be updated. Because remember, anytime somebody's added to the log or removed or amendment, like it triggers a bunch of new forms. So they have people that do nothing but that all day long. An in-house CRA or a trial master file specialist. A potential study subject is in the process of reading the ICF, but has not yet signed it and needs to urinate.
Use the restroom. I was like, what kind of question is this?
You know this happens in real life every day?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should allow them to use and take the samples later. So why should you say, oh, okay, go, come next day? That question made me like, which kind of question?
That is funny. So you put, study coordinator should give a urine cup to the subject since they may not need to go again. Which, you know what?
He has no sign.
No, but what you put is, it's true. Like, I've done this. This is a safe zone. It's for YouTube. But, well, of course, everyone's done that. But the textbook answer is they're supposed to, because that's technically a study assessment that you're collecting.
And you're not supposed to until they sign the
Nope, not until they sign the ICF.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean most sites don't do? Of course they do. Like we're not tyrants. But by the textbook and for CRA, you should not be thinking about anything else. So the correct answer is the subject should be allowed to use the restroom, and the site should capture the urine sample later that day or another day. At site initiation visit, a site is, you put beginning the enrollment process, and the right answer is trained and prepared to begin the study. The next one, which of the following does a site typically not receive from a monitor? And we just talked about that today.
Yeah.
The monitoring
You don't give them
report.
the reports.
But you put emails requesting query completions, which they actually do. Like one of your job as a CRA will be to email and follow up with sites. But you'll never send a site a monitoring report. So that's, and sometimes you do, like at SIV is the only exception. Sometimes. But the question says typically. Which of the following cannot be found in an investigator site file? You put financial disclosure, and the correct answer is completed source documents. Yeah, no, you know that. And the reason we didn't put regulatory binder is because they're the same thing, but I know it's investigator site files less used. It's less frequently.
It's because you're working, you're doing it under tension.
No, I guarantee you, if we said the same exact question, okay, but instead of investigator site file, we said regulatory binder, you'd have got it right.
Will get it right. Yeah.
But I did that on purpose because it's synonym and it's the lesser used.
Yeah, so I
synonym.
first try to get the investigator certified. That's
Yeah.
same thing as the regulatory binder.
Yeah.
So before taking my option, I first make sure I got that
Right.
clear. Yeah.
But if I were a gambler, I would gamble. You would get that right if I put regulatory binder. I know that for a fact. But I need to get people used to because there's so many words for the same
So
thing.
many things, yeah.
I want people to not be confused about that. But it's what does it mean if the subject is in the screening phase? So the correct answer is the subject has signed the informed consent and is currently in the screening process to determine eligibility.
Yeah.
What you put, which is wrong, is the subject is qualified for the study and is in the process of being enrolled, which sounds
I
very
didn't
much
even
like.
know it.
In a clinical trial, this refers to an open label period, usually after the double-blind study, that guarantees the participant to receive the study drug. It should be protocol study extension. You put breaking the blind. Breaking the blind is when the PI, for emergency reasons, has to determine what's the subject's taking. Right? There's a code. There's a blinding code, and it's sealed in an envelope next to the IP. And in the event of an emergency, like if they're in the hospital and the ER doctor's asking what it took, you get that right away and log in and see. Okay, but that doesn't apply to those. The open label, all right. Open label means you know you're getting the study drug. Right, that's open label. It's like not blinded. Everyone gets the same thing. That's the protocol study extension. So a protocol states that an enrolled subject is to take one pill every morning at 6 a.m. Okay, from March 2nd, which is visit 2, until March 9th, visit 3 at noon. That noon is there to tell you, and the 6 a.m. is there to tell you that on visit 3 they should have taken it before they came out. Right? So the subject took 8 pills. So you got March 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th,
It's the only
7th,
one
8th, 9th,
that the
8th.
subject will have is just the 12 noon. You will have taken the
Should have taken one every day. March 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th at 6 a.m.
But
'Cause
he's
the
coming to
protocol
the clinic
says-
on 9th, right?
Yeah, he's coming to clinic at March 9th at noon. But the protocol says you gotta take it every morning at 6 a.m. But not necessarily for, like if the protocol says you gotta take it in the morning, first thing upon waking is usually what they do. Then, and the visit 3 is at noon, they should, that goes back to that compliance question, percentage. But in this one, it's 100% compliance with no wiggle room. So it was every morning they should take it, even if it's on a day of their visit. Yeah. So, but every protocol is different. Like some will have a percentage of compliance, like plus or minus 10, over or under. But in this question, the point was, are you counting the day of the visit or not?